some of you are going to end up taking calculus because you're going to end up going into a career that you think is really cool, but oops, you find out after you decide to change your major, oh, I have to have calculus. One thing that's important in calculus is going the other direction from what we were just doing. So given a function, can you find two functions that you could compose to make that function you were given? You're going in exactly the opposite direction from composing functions. So that's what we're doing in this example. So in this example, h of x, capital H of x, is equal to the square root of 2x plus 1. And you're asked to find an f and a g such that when you compose f and g, you take f of g of x. In other words, you get h of x. So the key here is to identify the grouping symbol whenever possible. And then the function inside the grouping symbol is going to correspond to your inner function in the function in the composition notation. So you want to identify the inner function first, g of x, and that's going to correspond to the quantity, the formula that's inside the grouping symbol. So in h of x, what's acting like the grouping symbol? The radical is acting like the grouping symbol, isn't it? It's grouping the entire quantity 2x plus 1. It would be redundant to put parentheses around the 2x plus 1 since that square root extends all the way over it. So the square root acts in place of parentheses as well as telling you to take the square root. So that means the inner function here that's grouped is the 2x plus 1, and that's exactly what we're going to call g of x. So we're going to let g of x equal 2x plus 1. I think of that as the inner function. So then what's the outer function? The thing that we're going to call f of x, it's going to be the outer function. Well, the outer function it's got to involve the square root, doesn't it? The actual grouping symbol it's got to involve. Well, what you just have to, all that's left is the square root, right? So just make it square root and then put in the input x. And that's going to work. So that's the outer function, by the way. Outer function. And that's going to work. Check it out. So this is my answer. But how could you verify it? Well, just take f of g of x, right? And you'll see I'm going to work across here. The inner function's g of x, so that's f of 2x plus 1, right? Oh, f of 2x plus 1. Oh, we're plugging in now the input is 2x plus 1 in the formula for f, right? So that means I replace that x in the formula for f with that input, and I've got the square root of 2x plus 1, exactly what I wanted.